wellness evaluation that we do in our breakfast clubs. And I'm dead excited about this because when we first started looking at nutrition breakfast clubs, I always remember feeling quite overwhelmed, yeah? Because when we were looking at the Irish guys, I mean, they look so professional. And when me and Dan rocked up with Grace and Katie and we sat in our nutrition club, we had no idea what we were doing. Like, we really didn't. And we were committed to learn and to do the basics over and over. But what really helped me to sort of chunk it down into little things that I could focus on and achieve was really focusing on practicing the wellness evaluation. That was where we needed to start. And you heard before Grace talking about, you know, doing the invitation, inviting, and Sam. Didn't he do a great section, by the way? Give the girls a round of applause. So hearing them talking about the power of inviting and why it's important, you know, filling the funnel with new people all the time and creating that awareness in your local community to then bringing people in and doing the appointment for the free wellness evaluation. And in this section, I'm going to cover just some key things that I feel has helped us with our organisation over the last 3 years. Now, what I will say to you is, the wellness evaluation, we actually did some recording in some of our clubs over the last few weeks. Massive thank you to the corporate team who helped us to do that. But you can download these videos and go and watch them next week. So today I can't take you through a full evaluation, but I'm going to try and pick out some key things that I really feel made the difference for us to move people through the pathway. So is that okay with everyone? Yeah? Okay, great stuff. So as you've seen, this is your pathway. We move people along, we go out and invite, we do warm market and cold market. And then what I want you to focus on and write this down is after this event, you need to practice a minimum of 10 practice wellness evaluations, okay? And what we say to people in our group is, if you are a brand new trainee and you're looking to get started, this is the first place you start. It's about mastering the basics and doing it over and over. And if you are a coach who's been with us a little bit longer, guess what? If you want to move, you practice it over and over. So it's really about becoming, you know, as comfortable as you can in learning the skills to deliver this free wellness evaluation. So when you are working with people in your community, you can be more relaxed with it. You can connect with people because there's nothing worse than sitting in a wellness evaluation and your head's fell off and you're thinking, oh my goodness, what do I say? What do I do? They're going to think it's too expensive. They're going to think I'm going to try and get them to buy something. So you really just want to get to that place where you practice this over and over. So are we okay with that? Yeah? Okay, great stuff. Now, we do have checklists for every part of the pathway. So what we say to our new trainees when they are first learning it, and even, you know, me and Dan have got wellness evaluations booked in on Monday morning. I will always still, and Dan, use the wellness evaluation checklist on a clipboard because it helps us work smart, be time efficient, and it also enables you not to miss any important things out. So this checklist, again, you'll be able to download from the Herbalife website, but get into the habit of using checklists because, again, if you use the checklist, it's really easy to duplicate and train your team up. Is everyone with me on that? Okay. Now, here's some top tips. You want to map out in your diary around about 45 minutes for the appointment. But can I tell you a secret? My first few took me 2 hours, honestly. And I remember booking them in back to back. And Grace and Gav said to me when we first opened, you know, how many people have you got booked in? And I said, I've got 4 people booked in, all back to back. And by the time they came back to club, I was sitting on the floor with all these papers around me. My head had fell off. And these wellness evaluations, it took hours. Now, the reason I tell you that is you have to go into this and give yourself some slack. Are you going to master this straight away? No. Is that okay? Of course it is. Because all that person really wants to know is that you care. They don't know what you're about to do. So again, you have to go into it and explore and learn. So are we all okay with that? Okay, great stuff. Now, when people come in for a free wellness evaluation, there's 2 key things that we focus on in club. Number 1, write this down because you need to learn it. We are results driven, okay? Number 2, we help people to change their daily habits in club. That's what we do as trainee coaches in club. Everyone okay with that? Now, there's 3 groups of people that we help in Nutrition Club. We help people with weight loss and shape change. We help people with wellness, energy, that is a massive one now. But we also help people who are fit and active. But if I'm honest, the biggest market does tend to be around the weight loss or shape change. But we do help all 3, okay? Now, when you're doing your wellness evaluation, I'm going to try and keep this simple. I want you to look at it as in 3 separate sections. The first part of your wellness evaluation when someone comes in, and Nick taught on this morning, is really connecting with people to find out what it is that they want and why they've come to see you and why do they want that result. And you know, Nick has always taught us, even before nutrition clubs, it's about really connecting with people through the bridge model. So again, wasn't that an amazing training this morning that Nick took us through? So thank you, Nick. Now, when we are doing the bridge model, it's a conversation, but we do ask people when they come in, first of all, to fill out a questionnaire to tell us a little bit about their nutrition and lifestyle. And again, I'm not going to go through that today because you can download it off the site. But I want you to write this down. This is one of the things that really helped us in qualifying people. So once you've gone through what someone's goals are, why it is that they want it, what their challenges have been, you then need to always recap back to them what it is that they've said. Because you've got to make sure that you're clear and you're both on the same page. And then once you've done that, and this was the game changer for us, it's about asking them on a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are they to start making these daily changes? Are they a 1? Not really ready. Are they a 5? So-so, sit on the fence, Adam. Or are they an 8, 9, or 10? They're ready for change. And you're looking for people who are 8 and above, because in Nutrition Club, we're not here to convince. You do not need to have a club member for the sake of it. You've got to bring people in who are ready for change. Does everyone get that? Yeah? Now, if you get someone, for example, who says, well, do you know what, Claire? I'm probably a 7. Okay, you don't say, well, I'm really sorry, I can't take you into club. Do you know what I mean? We don't do that. But we'd say something like, well, okay, if you're a 7, Adam, how can we help you, or what's stopping you from becoming an 8? And then you wait to hear what they say, because it could be, you know, they're worried about they don't have the time, or they can't afford it, or, you know, they're not quite sure if it's for them. So our job is to try and move them to the 8. And I would say whatever he comes up with, well, if I can help you with that, would that then move you to an 8 or above? And you smile and nod like this. Yeah? And you don't blink. Yeah? And most of the time, people move to an 8. Now, here's the thing. You will have a lot of people come into your club through cold market. You know, you heard the girls talking about being out in your communities and letting everyone know that we exist and connect. But in nutrition clubs, when you work the referrals, and it's all about building relationships with your club members and using the heart scheme, which I'm going to touch on, a lot of people who start to come through the door are referrals. So most people, I would say 80% of our new people who come into clubs, they're through recommendation, and they're through Rita, who has got a great result, you know, she's seen a mate on social media, getting some recognition. So you've got to remember that this is why referrals are powerful, okay? They're so powerful. Are you all still with me? Yeah. I think the lift off is like starting to kick in, Caroline. Okay, now that's your conversation, okay? The middle part, the second part to your wellness evaluation, is actually putting people on the Tanitas, okay? And going through the slides and the wellness evaluation with them. Now, I'm just going to give you some tips. You're not a nutritionist. You're not a scientist. You're not a boffin. Well, Anne-Marie Duffy is, but I'm not a boffin, yeah? And your job is not to make their head fall off with science, okay? That slideshow is keeping it very simple of, this is what you are on a chart, this is where we need you to get to. This is what's good, this is maybe what we need to improve on. This is where you come out on this, and through club, we're gonna help you get to here. So the less you say, the better. So when you're doing this, if you find yourself like me 2 hours later and you're still going through hydration levels and metabolic aging, we've got a problem, okay? So just remember that, keep it simple. Now, the main thing I'm going to cover today is the 11 steps, okay? And when I seen the Irish girls doing this, I felt like running around the club after them because I was listening to the language, and I don't know if people are starting to feel this and see it and hear it from this weekend. The language is so important in club. It's what makes you become infected. And when I was hearing how they were explaining the 11 steps, I thought, right, I need to learn this through repetition and practice. I mightn't get it straight away, but the more practice wellness evaluations that I do, the more comfortable I'm going to get with what to say at each step. So let's recap. Part 1 to your wellness evaluation is going through their goals. It's about them connecting like Nick spoke about. The second part is putting them on the scales, and very simple, this is where you are, this is where you need to be. And you have to do the finger action. If there's no fingering going on, yeah, but if there's none of this going on, you're talking too much. Okay, we'll move on. And then when you got to the end of the wellness evaluation slides, you then say to them, okay, Rita, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a tour around club, and I'm going to show you what you're going to be doing each time you come in. Did we all get that? Okay, now, if you didn't, you can watch some videos that we've done on this. But what we're going to do now, embrace yourselves, and, you know, corporate was saying you need to show this video. And I was thinking, wow, 8 minutes of me talking on video, this is going to be a bit cringy. However, we're going to show you this video, and you're going to watch me do an 11-step tour in our club. Now, what I want you to listen for is the language that I use. You're going to hear me talk about when they first start in club, a 2-week induction period. So listen for that. You're going to hear me talk about the different type of club memberships that we have. Listen how I ask them about that. And also listen to how I ask the referrals. So I just want you to sit back and listen because you can watch this. Okay, so corporate, are we ready? Roll the VT. So guys, you seen me earlier actually taking Debbie through a wellness evaluation. We went through her goals, we then also did a Tanita readings and went through the wellness evaluation slides. And this part now I'm going to take you through the 11 steps, showing Debbie what she's going to do each time that she visits the club. This is part of our wellness evaluation also. So are we ready, Deb?
Ready.
Okay, so first thing is, Deb, is our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. until 11 a.m. and Saturday we are open 8 till 11. Now in your first 2 weeks of coming to club, you're going to need to come a minimum of 4 times a week. Number 1, it's about helping you get results fast. And number 2, we've got to get you into good daily habits, and you're going to need daily support for that. So is 4 times a week okay for you?
It's fine.
Brilliant. Now, the next thing is when you come in, you will follow 11 steps. It's self-service. The first few times that you come, we will guide you. But once you've done it once or twice, you're going to be fine. Is that okay? So, step number 1 is you always sign in. So if you'd like to sign in for me. Well done. Okay, now step number 2, Deb, is you're actually going to have your own personal folder with your tracker in that we used earlier today. And inside this folder, it'll have your tracker, but it will also as well have your membership card. So, with your membership card, Deb, you will sign off your visit with the date each time that you come in. Now, you've got two different options on your memberships. You can either do 10 visits for £50 or 30 visits for £135, which is 2 visits free. Which would you prefer to start?
The 10, I think.
Yeah?
I'll go with the 10.
Okay, brilliant. Now, the other thing that I need to tell you is we also have a heart scheme, so we reward our club members for recommending us. Now, the thing is, when you start, Deb, you're actually going to get 5 vouchers to be able to nominate 5 family and friends for a free wellness evaluation just like you've had. So who would be the 5 people you'd like to recommend? Number 1?
Nikki Ashcroft.
And who's that, Deb?
Her husband.
Fantastic. Number 2?
Carol Burke.
And who's that?
Mum.
Well done. Number 3?
Louise Burke.
Well done.
Sister-in-law.
Okay, and number 4?
Amy Newton.
Okay, and then one more, maybe like friend or relative, someone you worked with.
Can I come back to you with that one?
Yeah, of course you can. If it's okay with you, Deb, what we're going to do is get you started first. Once we get you started in club, then I'll come back to you over these and I'll start contacting them. And I'll also give you some vouchers to pass on. Is that okay with you?
That's fine.
Brilliant. So, come with me. So we've already done step 1, 2 and 3. Now step 4, Deb, is this is where you're going to come daily and you're actually going to weigh yourself. Now the thing is, Deb, it's not about getting obsessed on the scales. However, what we do know is if you're going to get weighed daily in front of us, you will think about what you put in your mouth the night before. So are you okay with that? But we do look at body shape change as well. Now the next thing is your name will actually go up on our leaderboard. And on our leaderboard, every day when you come in, Deb, you will update an accumulative of what you've lost. So it's green when you lose, and it's red when you gain, and no one likes the red. Are you okay with that? Okay, fantastic. Now, you're going to get 2 types of coaching in club. So coaching number 1 is you're going to get one-to-one, and I'm your personal coach. So I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader, Deb. I'm right beside you every step of the way. Now, the second type of coaching that you're going to get is what we call tough love. So when you are coming to club daily, we're going to ask you to fill out a food diary. You'll bring it with you each visit, and that really enables us to support you and look at what you're eating, when you're eating. Now, if you do start to forget your food diary, say regular, or your results are going in the wrong direction, just be prepared that the coaches will be very direct with you. So are you okay with that? Yeah. Okay, brilliant. So follow me. Next step is this is where we come to number 6, and this is our aloe station. Now, with your membership, Deb, you're actually going to be given your own Herbalife shaker. If you can bring that with you each visit to put your breakfast in, is that okay with you? Fantastic. Now, you must do it in this order. So when you come up to step 6, the aloe will already be served out in shot glasses. You pop the aloe into your shaker, and you fill your shaker to the top with water because it's important we hydrate. Not halfway, we fill the shaker to the top. All good with that. Yeah. Now, once you've got your step 6, your aloe, you then take a seat down onto the tables, and this is step 7. And this is where you'll drink your aloe, and we'll have a little chat with you about your food diary and talk about your habits, what you've been eating and how your results are going. So all good with that, okay? Now, once you've done that, step 8 is this is where you come and you do your thermo tea. Now, your thermo tea comes after the aloe. So you bring your shaker up, you put the powder in, fill your shaker to the top with hot water. You can add a little bit of cold if you want to, but you must fill it to the top. Again, we want to get you hydrated. Okay. So are you okay with that? Brilliant. Now, once you've done your thermo tea, the next thing is step number 9 is where you have your smoothie. Now, it's self-service, Deb, so our smoothies are already pre-made in jugs in the fridge. You help yourself, and after this, I'll take you in and show you where to fill your shake up to. All good with that? Yeah. Now, we also as well do 2 different flavours every single day. Now, step number 10 is where you get your takeaway products. So your products for home use, you're going to need products, say, at lunchtime, on the odd day that you don't come in. And in your first 2-week induction period, you must attend 4 to 5 visits before we enable you to buy tubs at home. Up until that point, we ask you to use sachets. And the reason we ask you to use sachets, Deb, is you need to show us that you're serious. You're serious about coming to club. Once you're coming regular and your results are moving, I am happy to upgrade you onto tubs, but you have to show us that the plan's for you. Are you okay with that? So once we've done step 10, which is your takeaway products, come with me. Final step, this is step 11 and we call it checkout. So once you've finished in club, you just literally get your folder with your tracker in, pop it in the box and we refile it ready for the next day. How does that sound?
Yeah.
And one thing to remember, Deb, is your first few goes, we'll take you around and guide you. Once you've done this 2 to 3 times, you'll go around, serve yourself, and we'll help you at the tables with your food, Dari.
Perfect.
Are you looking forward to starting? Yeah, I'm looking forward to. Great stuff.
Yeah.
So guys, as you can see, that was our 11 steps. First few goes, you might need to go around with your club members till they feel confident, but once they've done it themselves, then it's a self-service club, and we're here to work the floor and support that customer. Thanks everyone. Just a few things that I'm going to pull out. Okay, first thing is we are a self-service club, and why this is important is it enables us, if customers are serving themselves, we can spend time on the floor having the conversations to move people through the pathway. Does everyone get that? So we're having the conversations yet to support people to get results, but it's about making sure that we're present and working the conversations. Now, a few key things, okay, because people have already started to ask us questions, is what's included in a club membership that the club member buys, the customer buys. Well, it's about value. They get a daily weigh-in, they get their breakfast, aloe tea and smoothie, and they get that mini coaching section, which is a conversation. And that, for me, brings massive value to the marketplace of what we do. They get one-to-one coaching and they get the community support. Now, when someone purchases a club membership, what is important, and this was a real game changer for us in year 2, is making sure that you have expiry dates. Because if you don't, people won't come 3 to 4 times or 4 to 5 times a week. So, you know, for us, we do a 10-day membership. It's a 30-day expiry date. And if they're doing, say, 4 times a week, then there's no problem with the expiry date. Is everyone okay with that? If they purchase, say, a 30-day membership, they have 90 days to use it. But it's important that you're strong on that and that you check it. Remember, this is a business, and the more they come, the better the results they get. The better the results they get, the more they get clubbed. The more they get clubbed, the more they go out and they rave about us to family and friends. Now, one of the other things that I spoke about is when anyone starts, they enter a 2-week induction period, because for some people it's overwhelming to think beyond that further period. They might have told you that they want to lose maybe 1 stone, 2 stone, drop 10% body fat, but we've got to bring it down to just them first 2 weeks initially. And the reason we say you're going to start on a 2-week induction period is we say you're going to need to come 4 to 5 visits a week. Okay, we're not a weekly club, we are a daily club, and you've got to be really, really strong on that, especially when you start opening your clubs and working with people. And then the last thing is you explain to people they need to come 4 to 5 times a week in their first 2 weeks, because we're results driven and we're going to help them to change the daily habits. And in order for them to do that, they need daily support. So all they have to think about is getting to the next 24 hours, mini steps, and support every step of the way. Are you all with me on that? Yeah? Now, the other thing is that I asked about who would they like to nominate. And for me, I just love this, because there's nothing better than seeing your club members bringing people with them. Because what we do know is when people do it, with friends and family, they get much better support and it becomes fun. So when you're doing your 11 steps, you've got to make sure that you do ask them and say, you know what, fantastic, now that you're getting started, who would you like to nominate for a free wellness evaluation? You can nominate 5 people. And I said, who's first? Yeah? And most people, what you might find is you might skip over that at first, but you've got to relax, okay? And then who else? Who else? Who else? And just relax with it. But what we do know is the people who bring friends in with them, they get much better results, and then they start to access the heart scheme. So let's just recap what the heart scheme is. So in club, we reward people with a heart for recommending someone to club who joins club. It's not just for recommending, that person has to buy a membership. Is everyone clear on that, yeah? Now, if someone recommends 2 hearts, they collect 2 hearts, they get access to become a Herbalife member once they've watched our ambassador call, and they can start getting 25% discount. If they collect 3 hearts for recommending 3 people, they get the next 10 visits free. And most of our club members, guess what? They only buy 1 membership because they're loving it so much, they're raving about it, they're sharing it on social media, their hearts start to rack up. They then also, if you get 5, okay, they can get 30 visits free. But this is important. If someone gets 3 hearts, we say to them, you can either bank them in and get your free visits, or do you want to hold them? Let's get another 2. So let's get the 5 free hearts, yeah? And you can then get the 30 free visits. Which one would you prefer, Fiona? And most people, they want the 30 free visits, don't they? So guess what they do? They go out and they go and find another 2 hearts. And you're going to hear this over and over, you know, over the next day and a half. So let's recap that. And again, remember, you're going to need to practice this over and over. So don't put yourself under pressure. Enjoy it. But here's just some pointers to finish. You want to give yourself 2 hours. No, I'm only joking, 45 minutes. But I would honestly, if I'm being honest, give yourself an hour to start with. Don't put yourself under pressure. The wellness evaluation is 3 parts: goals, presentation, and 11 steps. You want to make sure that at the beginning, you qualify people. How serious are they about making some changes on a scale of 1 to 10? In club, we only bring people in who are 8 and above. And if you've really, really tried and you can't get them to an 8, we've got no qualms in saying to people, Andy, I maybe don't think club's for you. And we're strong on that. You know, in 3 years, I've only ever had to say that to 2 people. 1 person didn't come back. The second person, you know, left and didn't join, but she recommended 2 people to me. And why do you think she did? Because I was honest and I built a relationship with her. We had a great time. She just didn't join. Club wasn't for her. And then the last thing is always make sure that when someone starts in club with you, you explain they're going to start on a 2-week induction period and they're going to need to come 4 to 5 times a week. Remember, we're results driven. And then the last thing is get comfortable and confident with asking them who would they like to nominate. And if they don't give you names there and then, once you've got them started, revisit it. So sometimes people ask for referrals and they ask once and then they think the job's done. For us, it's a culture in our club. We're asking all the time, Fiona, have you nominated anyone yet? Fiona, how many hearts are you up to? We give recognition for it. And it breeds this culture of people just want to bring the mates. They just want to bring the mates. So guys, thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed it.